wasting any time, we shall go on to our first speaker, Dr. Nikhil Nasa, who's a dynamic surgeon who established his eyesight care and surgical center at Khar and a second clinic at Dadar, a very capable cataract and refractive surgeon with his teaching pearl for us. On to you, Dr. Nikhil.
Ma'am, we have to run the video.
Yeah, just a minute, Nikhil. We would
Yes,
just
ma'am.
have a minute of Entode's video, whom we need to thank for sponsoring our ARC programs in a very major way. This is the black square. Thank you very much. So shall we have your video, Nikhil?
I'll be sharing it now.
Yeah.
Dr. Nikhil, you're muted.
Yes, they'll be playing the video from their end. I am actually showing a video where it's a case of a microspherophakia.
Dr.
And,
Mr. Tari, can you share his video?
Ma'am, I'm just sharing his video.
So I'll just brief you. It's a microspherophakia, and what different I've done here is
Just give me a
I've
minute, sir.
attempted- Yeah, I'm just giving an intro to what we're
Sure,
going to
sir.
show.
Sure, sir.
So it's a microspherophakia, and I've attempted to put an iris claw lens with the bag in place. So it acts like a kind of a scaffold, and it's something different. It's something challenging that I've done, and yeah,
Thank you for inviting me for this trapeze act. Thank you to the ring
I call it the
masters.
trapeze act.
We always hanging upside down in complex cases. This is a case of spherophakia with no zonules. So if you look, I've made two side ports and one main incision of 2.8. Original plan was to put in maybe a scleral fixated IOL or something, but see how it progresses. I'm making a horizontal nick with the
ये नहीं
system.
चाह रहा.
It's so difficult because the capsule is extremely elastic. It's a 10-year-old boy. So I've just done a little hydro. There's barely any lens there. It's all going to come out with IA very easily. So after doing the hydro, in my envelope little bit that I have done the Rexis, our main idea is to preserve the bag. You know that Bagwati from Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara? We got to preserve the bag. It's very priceless. So I'm doing a little bit of IA with Simcoe. I don't want to put any stress and get the entire bag out because I don't want vitreous to come out, and I don't want to use the anterior vitrectomy and make it more complex for myself. So I'm leaving this. Now I'm going to use a little bit of coaxial irrigation aspiration. So this is one instrument I like to use rather than two side posts. This gives less pressure. So I'm just doing a very low flow IA sort of thing here, and once it's entirely cleaned up, nice and clear, see, I pinched the bag. I don't want to cut it off. I don't want anything happening there. I want that bag support to be there. So I'm reducing the pupil size now with a forceps, gently, very gently. I don't want to cause iridodialysis. This is a non-contracting pupil, so I don't want to pull and push too much, but very gently in an atraumatic way. I've done that. Now I'm extending the incision with a 5 mm sclerocorneal wound. See, I've extended it there. This much is needed to put in the iris claw. This is the iris claw which I'm using with this specially designed forceps that I use, which has a back plate a little more flattened compared to the front plate, and I hold it like a MacPherson only. Inserting the IOL into position, first we put it in and then gently I'm going to rotate it so that I know where the hooks are going to be, which will be at 3 and 9 where my side port incisions are there. So I'm just sort of pushing it into the position that I want to place it in horizontally, and then once that's done, I'm again holding it with that forceps. I call it a kawa forceps, and I'm bringing one claw behind the iris. Then I follow the silhouette of the iris margin, which is elevated, and there tuck. You just make a small pin tuck, and it sets into place. It kind of enclaves the iris. Same thing procedure repeated on the opposite side, and very atraumatic, very gentle. Here I have to take care not to push too much, otherwise I'll lose the shape of the pupil entirely, and I want the pupil to be round only. Then in the end I remove the visco and tap on the IOL to check if it's enclaved firmly. Looks quite okay. This trapeze act is not so difficult in my hands. As you can see, I'm getting out of the trap in a pretty easy way, so it's easy for me. Iridectomy done, fairly simple. If you notice the two corners, there are dimples on that side, just like Shah Rukh Khan has dimples on either side, or even Preeti Zinta does. So I like this procedure a lot. It's atraumatic, it's quick, and I've done plenty of these, so I love the results we get with this. In the end, finally 2 sutures, and that will be the wrap of the procedure. All is well that ends well, I believe. So Yahoo, trapeze, I love it.
And you have to cut it now. It goes on, so we'll have to end the video.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nikhil, for showing us something very practical and relevant and easy tip. Now, what is the A
Wow.
constant of your IOL model, and how do you arrive at your power?
Ma'am, it's 115, the A
Hmm.
constant, and we can do a normal PCIOL A scan, and then we can reduce it by a diopter or two, and that more or less tells you what should be the power of the iris claw, because it's going to go posteriorly.
Posterior to the iris.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And have you, I just wanted the opinion of the experts on the panel, Dr. Saurabh. Would you feel there's a need to do a YAG PI when you're doing an iris claw lens if you have done an adequate vitrectomy?
Yeah, I think so, because with iris claw, of course, if you have a posterior, curvature to the iris claw IOL, sometimes it prevents pupillary block. But we never know if the pupillary block happens, particularly in younger age group. And particularly here, I think the capsular bag as well as hyaloid was intact, so pupillary block can happen. And another thing I would like to note here, the bag was left behind, and it will opacify later on.
Yes.
And
Yes.
most of the times it becomes fibrous and comes into the center. So I would like to just remove it or cut it at the time of surgery. I think that will be better. But of course, I think if required, he will do it later.
Yeah, basically, I think he would have thought of conserving the posterior segment from any surgical impact. But this capsule is definitely going to fibrose and opacify and would block the visual axis. There's no doubt about that. Did you do a YAG PI for the other eye?
For the other eye?
Yeah, there was microphakia was
we
not
haven't.
there?
No, ma'am. We have not done anything for the other eye yet. So this
Yeah.
is still an ongoing treatment. So
Yeah.
follow-ups are of course happening. So we
Yeah.
haven't planned anything for the other eye so far.
Dr. Ramurthy, you have anything to add in this case?
Oh, just as was being said, I would also be in favor of removing the bag completely, because it's a 10-year-old patient, as Nikhil mentioned, and definitely the capsule remnants are going to opacify and block the visual axis, and that might be a little difficult even to YAG it off. You might require a subsequent surgery. Of course, the thought not to disturb the anterior hyaloid is good, but I think it would have been, if at all you're doing a secondary IOL like iris claw or a scleral fixation, it's better to have a clear visual axis at the bag removed in toto. And even in these situations, it's always a good idea to try to implant the lens in the bag with the use of capsular hooks, with the use of Cioni ring segments, etc. But while you are proceeding with the surgery, if you find that the bag is extremely tremulous, there's no point playing on your ego and saying that somehow I'm going to preserve the bag. Go ahead and remove it completely, and did exactly what Nikhil did. And as far as the intraocular lens power calculation is concerned, of course, here he might have planned the iris clip lens. So it was as he rightly mentioned, the A constant is about 115. And in case you are shifting during surgery, from most of our lenses have A constant about 118. I think unlike anterior chamber lens or what is still fixated lens, you should drop your lens power at least by 2 diopters, because there's a difference of about 3 in the A constant. And these are just a couple of thoughts that I have.
Having had enough confidence in iris clip lenses the way we are doing today, would you, how many of us in the expert panel would still want to go for conserving the bag in these kind of cases where the lens has dislocated and come into the anterior chamber?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chitra, for the opportunity. And I would like to appreciate how Nikhil has been able to deal with this case. My first instinct in such a situation would be to preserve the bag. And so that would be my first, because in these patients, the most difficult part is creating an opening in the capsule and able to make a circular capsular access. So for that, you can, as Dr. Ramamurthy has already said, double pinch method can be used, or, Earthly machine has, Dr. Harshul Tuck has done a very good series on this, in which he creates an opening. And then with the help of, in the capsule, and then with the help of capsular hooks or bimanual capsular access, you can complete the capsular access. Then, in this stage, CTR could have been implanted at the first go, because it happens to be a very soft, rather no nucleus at all. So in these cases, you want that there should be a horizontal, tenting of the bag. And once that is done, double fixation after CTR could have been tried for that matter. So my first instinct would have been this way. Had that not worked, then obviously what Nikhil did would have been a perfect ploy.
Thank you very much. I think we shall go on to the next speaker, as we've covered all the relevant issues, and great surgery, Nikhil.
Thank you,
Our
ma'am.
next
Thank you
speaker
for the
is
opportunity.